For this video, we're going to talk about the hinge movement pattern. Okay, this is going to be primarily used for lower body strength exercises, and it's going to target the glutes and the hamstrings as well as the rest of the legs for the movement. Okay, so what I'm going to have Corinne do is she's going to set up and we're going to demo a couple of reps of the hinge. Starting off, a good starting point would be feet about shoulder width apart, toes turned out a little bit. And what she's going to do from here, before she even goes to pick up the kettlebell, is she's going to put her hands right into her hips, push her hips back towards the wall behind her, and get set up right over the kettlebell. So do a couple reps there. So as you can see, as she does this, she's working on getting as far back into her hips as she can without substituting with any sort of back motion at all or additional squatting motion. So if you show us from the side, we'll see the same thing. She's pushing her hips back, shins remain mostly vertical here, and there's no additional movement through the back here, okay? Now, when we set up over the kettlebell for a kettlebell deadlift, we're going to do the exact same thing. Now her hands are going to reach right down towards the kettlebell. Go ahead. She's going to grab on tight, and she's going to stand up tall with it. A couple of the common flaws that we see with the deadlift is people have excessive forward knee motion, and they tend to want to squat too much with it, or from the bottom position, they kind of yank it off the ground and use too much of their back with it. So a lot of times what we see is that people just don't really understand how to get a good posterior weight shift to get down to the bell. So if that's you, potentially deadlifting from the ground isn't the right starting point for you yet, and we can elevate it up, okay? As you can see with Corinne, as she turns to the side, as she goes into her hip hinge, to a certain point, she has really good control of what's going on with her back here, come back up. But if we were to go further and further down, she may start to compensate with excessive hyperextension of her back, or if she runs out of room with her hips, she'll start to squat to go down further. So show us a little bit of that. First one, extend through your back a little bit too much. So you see a little extra hyperextension here versus working on the hip hinge. The second thing is she goes back, maybe she starts to squat a little bit too much and her knees drive forward as it goes to the bottom position, okay? In both of those instances, it's not that she can't hinge properly, it's that maybe going all the way towards the ground is too far. So whether you find a couple mats to elevate it or you use a trap bar which has elevated handles, those may be better substitutions to start off.